Hello folks. Hey, I'm a little bit excited here. I ended up catching two wolves, a double, side by side right where that bear was. I kind of hesitate to put it on here though, because there's a lot of emotional problems with wolves and trapping in general anyway, but wolves especially. And people, I've seen in the comments on the bear video, why do you trap wolves? Why do you want to do this for? And blah blah blah. Well, I like wolves. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate them. I don't know any trapper that traps because they don't like animals and they want to get rid of them all. And I like them. I think they're a really neat animal. There's no better challenge than trying to catch a wolf or hunt a wolf. I have had no luck at all hunting them. I've had very limited luck trapping them. This makes 3 now. But that first one was, I think, 2017, and I was starting to wonder if that wasn't the accident. I'd been trying hard ever since and never catch anything. And if you've been watching my videos a while, you know that I've got a lot of wolf trapping videos with no wolves, and I don't know, it's hard, but that's kind of what makes it fun too. If it was easy, it wouldn't be much of a challenge, would it? So that's why I like it. But there is some money involved in it, and that's another reason, I got to admit. But also, it's game management. They turned the wolves loose here in 1995, and for the first, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, it didn't really affect a whole lot. There was some cows killed and stuff, but not that many. As time went on, the antis blocked all management of wolves for almost 15 years, or about 15 years, and in that time, they overpopulated like crazy, and our moose were just about completely wiped out. We used to see quite a few moose around here. I haven't seen any. Now and then is all I see them. I don't see them like I used to. My batteries died there for a second, but anyhow, what I was saying was we had doe tags this year, and that should have been easy, and it wasn't. We had a hard time finding a doe. Mine got ate by coyotes. I wounded it, and it got too dark. There was no blood trail to follow, no way to tell where it'd gone, and we ended up having to come back the next day, and the coyotes and the eagles had got it by the time I found it. And somebody wrote in there, "Oh, you poor baby, it got dark and you heard coyotes and you got scared." No, not hardly. But that's the way it goes. I mean, if you chase them in the dark, you're liable to jump them and they'll run. And if you can't tell which direction they run and there's no blood to follow, you're not going to find them at all. So we took a chance at coming back the next day and finding it, and I did find it, but it was too late. People ask me why I want to trap them. Well, number one, it's the challenge. And two, it's money. That I got to admit. I mean, it is some money, but the biggest reason is the lack of game. I have lost 2 outfitting jobs, guiding jobs. The outfitters that I worked for went out of business because there was nothing to hunt. They ended up selling out, and I lost 2 jobs because of the wolves. And the antis blocked management for about 15 years, and they were allowed to overpopulate. And that wiped out our game. The moose really got hit hard, deer and elk too, but the moose are pretty much extinct here. There's a few around, but very, very few. Cattlemen, the ranchers, there's one rancher I talked to, he said that he lost 17 calves this summer. And I don't know, it's hard for me to believe that they're all wolf kills, but they might have been, because there's no deer and elk. And I don't know that we really have a lot of wolves left anymore. I don't see the tracks as much as I used to, but we do have wolves. There's enough around to cause problems. And that's one of the biggest reasons to hunt and trap for them, is just plain out management. Anyway, life isn't all, roses in the woods. There are very few sick and weak animals for the wolves to eat. You hear all the time, oh, the wolves only eat the sick and the weak. Well, there are very few sick ones. Most of them don't live to die of old age. They don't live that long. Something eats them, or they get shot, or something happens to them, hit by a car, or disease. And the very few of them, there are very few sick animals, but there is some diseased ones. That's another thing that the wolves kind of brought in, is hydated tapeworms, which is, I'm not sure how do you say it, it's Hecoccus graniosus. Look it up, it's a nasty thing. But anyway, the weak ones, those are the young, those are the babies. They're easy to catch, they're easy to eat, easy to kill. And for years we'd see big herds of 200 or 300 head of elk, no calves, none, maybe one or two, that's it. And over time, the older ones getting killed off or dying off, and no younger ones to replace them, those big herds of 200 or 300 elk went down to herds of maybe 30, 50, something like that. The deer, the same way. For a long time, I'd see deer in the woods without any fawns. The last few years, I've been seeing more elk calves and more deer fawns. Some of them are twins. But the other thing we were doing after we were finally allowed to manage these wolves and hunt and trap them and reduce their numbers, the game was coming back. Things were looking good. And then we had 2 or 3 hard winters in a row, and we had big die-offs. Fish and Game said that in some areas we had as much as 80% of the deer fawns and elk calves die off. Moose, they don't have a chance. I mean, not from the winter, but with wolves. Deer and elk, deer don't so much, but elk run in herds. There's multiple targets for the wolves to go after. If one of them starts to get away, then they switch to a different one. With a moose, you have one cow moose and 1 or 2 calves. And you tire out that one cow moose, and you got her calves. It's guaranteed. I mean, it's easy. And the moose have really disappeared. So, anyway, all that said and done, show off my 2 wolves here. But like I said, I kind of wanted you to maybe understand this a little bit more. Life ain't no Disney show. It's tough out here. Animals have a hard life, and usually a pretty short life. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Come up to check wolf traps today. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but there's one howling. But right here, I got my second wolf ever. This is within probably 50 feet of where that bear was. Oh man, I hope you can hear that. Oh, look at here. I got 2. Oh wow, guys. I didn't see the second one. I have 2 wolves. I got a double. Wow. Two wolves. And here I was close to pulling my traps and giving up. It's really icy today. And the tree that bear was on was right there. Wow. That's amazing.